we will see Class 12 Geography, Unit 3, Chapter 6, Water Resources. Do you think that what exists today will continue to be so, or the future is going to be different in some respects? It can be said with some certainty that the societies will witness demographic transition, geographical shift of population, technological advancement, degradation of environment and water scarcity. Water scarcity is possibly to pose the greatest challenge on account of its increased demand coupled with shrinking supplies due to over utilization and pollution. Water is a cyclic resource with abundant supplies on the globe. Approximately 71% of the Earth's surface is covered with it, but fresh water constitutes only about 3% of the total water. In fact, a very small proportion of fresh water is effectively available for human use. The availability of fresh water varies over a space and time. The tensions and disputes on sharing and control of this scarce resource are becoming contested issues among the communities, regions, and states. The assessment, the efficient use and conservation of water therefore become the necessary to ensure development. In this chapter, we shall discuss water resources in India, its geographical distribution, sectoral utilization, and methods of its conservation and management. Water resources of India. India accounts for about 2.45% of world's surface area, 4% of the world's water resources, and 16% of the world's population. The total water available from precipitation in the country in a year is about 4,000 cubic kilometer. The availability from surface water and replenishable and groundwater is 1,869 cubic kilometer. Out of this, only 60% can be put to be beneficial uses. Thus, the total utilizable water resource in the country is only 1,122 cubic kilometer. Surface water resources. There are four major resources of surface water. These are rivers, lakes, ponds, and tanks. In the country, there are about 10,360 rivers and the tributaries longer than 1.6 km each. The mean annual flow in all the river basins in India is estimated to be 1,869 cubic kilometer. However, due to the topographical and hydrological and other constraints, only about 690 cubic kilometer in bracket 32% of the available surface water can be utilized. Water flow in a river depends on the size of its catchment area or river basin and rainfall within its catchment area. You have studied in your class 11 textbook India Physical Environment that precipitation in India has very high spatial variations and is mainly concentrated in monsoon season. You also have studied in the textbook that some of the rivers in the country like Ganga, the Brahmaputra and the Indus have huge catchment areas. Given that the precipitation is relatively high in the catchment areas of Ganga, the Brahmaputra and the Parak rivers, these rivers also account only about 1/3 of the total area in the country. have 60% of the total surface water resources. Much of the annual water flow in South Indian rivers like the Godavari, the Krishna, the Kaveri has been enhanced, but it is yet to be done in the Brahmaputra and the Ganga basins. Groundwater resources. The total replenishable groundwater resources in the country are about 432 cubic kilometer. Table 6.1 shows that the Ganga and the Brahmaputra basins have about 46% of the total replenishable groundwater resources. The level of the groundwater utilization is relatively high in the river basins lying in the northwestern region and the parts of South India. The groundwater utilization is very high in the states of Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu. However, there are states like Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Kerala, etc. while utilize only a small portion of their groundwater potentials. States like Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Tripura and Maharashtra are utilizing their groundwater resources at moderate rate. If the present trend continues, the demands for water would need the supplies, and such situations will be detrimental to development and can be cause the social upheaval and disruption. Here in table 6.1, basin-wise groundwater potential and utilization in India in bracket cubic kilometer per year. Name of basins, groundwater resources. Total replenishable utilization in percent, the level of groundwater. One, Brahmani with Paltami 4.05, total groundwater 8.45. 2. Brahmaputra 26.55, total level of groundwater 3.37. 3. Chambal Composite 7.19, level of groundwater 40.09. 4. Kaveri 12.3, level of groundwater 55.33. 5. Ganga 170.99, level of groundwater 33.52. 6. Godavari 40.65, level of groundwater 19.53. 7. Indus 26.49, level of groundwater 77.71. 8. Krishna 26.41, level of groundwater 30.39. 9. Kuchuchu and Saurashtra including river Luni 11.23, level of groundwater 51.14. 10. Chennai and South Tamil Nadu 18.22, level of groundwater 57.68. 11. Mahanadi 16.46, level of groundwater 6.95. 12. Meghna, Parak and others 8.52, level of groundwater 3.94. 13. Narmada 10.83, level of groundwater 21.74. 14. Northeast Composite 18.84, level of groundwater 17.2. 15. Penner 4.93, level of groundwater 36.6. 6. Sabanreka 1.82, level of groundwater 9.57. 17. Tabby 8.27, level of groundwater 33.05. 18. Western Gate 17.69, level of groundwater 12.88. Total 431.42, level of groundwater 31.97. Source: Ministry of Water Resource, Government of India, New Delhi. Figure 6.1, India river basins. They give the map. Exercise based on table 6.1. 1. Which river basin has the highest total replenishable groundwater resource? 2. In which water basin is the level of groundwater utilization the highest? 3. Which river basin has the lowest total replenishable groundwater resource? 4. In which river basin is the level of groundwater utilization the lowest? 5. Draw a bar diagram to show the total replenishable groundwater resource in 10 major river basins. 6. Draw a bar diagram to show the levels of groundwater utilization of the same 10 major river basin for which you have made the first bar diagram. Lagoons and backwaters. India has the vast coastline and the coast is very indented in some states. Due to this, a number of lagoons and lakes have formed. The states like Kerala, Odisha and West Bengal have the vast surface water resources in these lagoons and lakes. Although water is generally brackish and in these water bodies, it is used for fishing and irrigating certain varieties of paddy crops and coconut, etc. Water demand and utilization. India has traditionally been an agrarian economy and about 2/3 of its population have been dependent on agriculture. Hence, the development of irrigation to increase agricultural production has been assigned a very high priority in the 5-year plans and the multi-purpose river valleys projects like Pakran Nangal, Hirakud, Damodar Valley, Nagarjuna Sahar, Indira Gandhi Canal Project, etc. have been taken up. In fact, India's water demand at present is dominated by irrigational needs. As shown in figure 6.2 and 6.3, agricultural accounts are most of the surface and the groundwater utilization. It accounts for 89% of the surface water and 92% of the groundwater utilization, while the share of the industrial sector is limited to 2% of the surface water utilization and 5% of the groundwater. The share of domestic sector is higher in bracket 9% in surface water utilization as compared to groundwater. The share of agricultural sector in total water utilization is much higher than other sectors. However, in future with development, the shares of industrial and domestic sectors in the country are likely to increase. Here, figure 6.2, the sectoral usage of surface water withdrawals, domestic 9%, industrial 2%, agriculture 89%. Groundwater withdrawals, domestic 3%, industrial 5%, agriculture 92%. Source: Earth Trend 2001 World Resource Institute as given in Government of India 2002 report. Demand of water for irrigations. In agriculture, water is mainly used for irrigations, and irrigation is needed because of spatio-temporal variability in rainfall in the country. The large tracts of country are deficient in rainfall and are drought-prone. Northwestern India and Deccan Plateau constitute such areas. The winter and summer season are more or less dry in most parts of the country. Hence, it is difficult to practice agriculture without assured irrigation during dry seasons. Even in the areas of ample rainfall like West Bengal and Bihar, breaks in monsoon or its failure creates dry spells and detrimental for agriculture. Water need of certain crops also makes irrigation necessary. For instance, water requirement of rice, sugarcane, jute, etc. is very high, which can be met only through the irrigation. Provision of irrigation makes multiple cropping possible. It has also been found that irrigated lands have higher agricultural productivity than unirrigated land. Further, the high-yielding varieties of crops need regular moisture supply, which is made possible only by a developed irrigation system. In fact, this is why the Green Revolution strategy of agriculture development in the country has largely been successful in Punjab, Haryana and Western Uttar Pradesh. Thank you. Sharing is caring. Subscribe for more knowledge. Comment your thoughts.